Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. I need a new grill and I'm going to reuse the grates from my old one. And I'm going to try out my new welder with it. So in this video we're going to, I already modeled the grate. It's basically what it looks like. The only dimensions that really matter are the width and length and the depth. Everything else is more cosmetic. This is the approximate design of my grill though. Of the grate, I'm just going to use a single plate because it's just me and my wife, so we don't really roll that much, and this way I can save some space. But so we're going to build out all the plates that we need for the grill, and then in a future video, once I get the materials, I will video myself welding said grill. So today we're going to design it. And now that I got the grate design, let's get into the main portions. So start with a new component. I think we will make this the side wall, the left one. Alright. This will be a side. Start by, hold on, I'm going to make a line first, construction line, right here, to right here, what I want to do is I want to have a 1/4 inch on both sides of the grate so it has somewhere to sit and I can So what we're going to do now is make a box. Make a line here, try to center. Now this to be 11.25 wide, and this can be kind of, we can play with this number. Now the higher I go, the more distance between the coals and the grate, but the closer you get, the hotter the meat gets faster, so we gotta make this a very determined part. So I think I will go with 6 inches because then I can get a 6-inch piece of flat stock cut to length, so I don't have to waste sheets, and I can go to a metal supermarket and get those. So what we'll do is straighten this up a little, distance to there. I see what I did. So we need to go with this. Actually, that part doesn't really matter. There we go. Alright. Now that we have those two sides, let's put this corner there. Great. Here with that. Now we want to make some angles. So we're going to find the center line right there. And the center line because we can just extrude this middle part here. So we're going to hit E for extrude, corner of the plate, and to make the right plate a lot easier, because it'll be almost here, we're going to copy this. We're going to activate the main sketch assembly. We're going to paste that as new. We will just shoot that over there for now. We're going to call this right side. Helps if I double click. It also helps if I get on the button. There we go. Now we got 2 plates. Now we're right back on. And from here, we're just going to take a few measurements. Alright, now that we have the main body put together for the bottom, as you can see, it's all nice and close in. We need to build a couple of brackets to hold the grate in place. So we'll build those real quick. And we also need to make an opening on the bottom for the caches to come up, since this is a truffle grill. And I'm also going to be putting a hole in the side here, because this is also on top of the truffle grill. We'll put a small smoker box on the side so I can smoke like brisket and bacon and things like that. So let's start with the little brackets. Alright, this is just going to be a simple part, doesn't really matter. Just make it a square for now. We're going to make we'll do a half by half. So what we'll do then is use the offset tool. Do that by that's too beefy, so let's divide that by 4, maybe 2. There we go. Okay, draw some lines to connect this to this. Screw it out. That's gonna go 11. Make a simple copy. This one we don't need to paste now because it's going to be identical. There's nothing we need to change it. So we're going to just paste these up. So top one here. And then we're going to drop it down a ½ inch, so minus 0.5. We'll do the same for this one. Now we need to rotate that around. Rotate it around. There we go. And then we'll drop that one down minus 0.5. Whoops, I didn't know that was bad. So there we go. Alright. So for the grate, just for appearances, we're going to click you. We're going to click you. And we're just going to drop that down. As you can see, I just measured some stuff, so I need to change the length of those. Because I was thinking differently. Which that shouldn't be a problem, and that's why I modeled the so what I need to do here is I need to fix that length. And that's why we do this. So let's start at the bottom. Oops, not extrusion, sorry. Spell. that needs to be, what did we say? I think we said 15. And then finish that. And then we get to go in and change the rest. Make that 15. Make this one 15. Now this is where if you were to just use the new ones, this would just automatically get all of them, but because I'm going to be doing some things to some of these, that doesn't make sense. And on a big part like this, that's not a big deal. When you get to the real stuff, you need to have better and that looks good. That looks good. So now we need to I want to put a 3x3 forks because I'm going to use a piece of 3x3 box steel to as a little exit port, and I'm going to hang a metal bucket underneath this rope. So this is going to be simple. We do that, put that, other side, enter, those are usually yeah, that looks about right. This part doesn't look as much cosmetic. Now we're gonna go really easy. Click you, call it a 1/8 wall. And get rid of that asterisk. There we go. Extrude you. Let's have you drop down 3 inches. Alright. So now that we have that pipe, first click you, go over here, holes get filled with weld. And that'll probably be gapped a little just so I can have the welds flush with the, and there'll be some weld fading going on here. So that actually probably sit down about 1/8 inch just for that purpose. But for this, it doesn't really matter. And then underneath here will be a bucket. I'll probably weld a couple of tabs onto the side here to hold the bucket handle. Or I'll cut it into the actual tube itself and just have the bucket handle just hang from this piece by itself. But that's neither here nor there, nor is it really important for what we are doing. So the next part is we need to make this hole. Now this hole is sort of an arbitrary size, but for continuation's sake, I think what I want to do is make it 3 inch so I can take a piece of this, like a 1 inch piece, and cut it and use it as a holder. So click U, we will just do this. So 3 by 3. And now we get to place it. That's the midpoint of that. That's not probably what we want. Alright, there we go. So in reality what I want is I want this to be half of this, so that number divided by 2. And it's good to reference things like this because we always want this to be in the middle. If you don't do it this way, if I change this to like 8, it wouldn't recenter it, it would just be off by 1.5 inches, and that's obviously not what you want. Now for the bottom here, that is what we want. Because I want to measure from the bottom, and I want that to be 1 inch. That way the ash doesn't back into the smoke box, so I'm just using it as a regular grill, but it also lets the smoke get underneath the meat when we use the smoke box. Alright, so that's what I'm doing for that part. Have a hole in it. I don't know what to do with that. Oh, I know what happens. Then we turn that one into construction. There we go. Now we're just going to do minus 1.25. Metal is, and now we have our hole. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make a copy of this, and paste as a new item. We're going to go there, just to get rid of it on the side there. We're going to call that one smoke hole. It's fine. So now we'll go back to grill and position. And we'll just grab an arbitrary corner here. And then we will rotate you that way, and you are installed. So now the main box is done. And for the smoke box and the lid, it's going to be a lot of the same as we just did. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop the video, and once I have the lid installed, the smoke box installed, we'll come back and we'll discuss the legs. and go over what I did. So for you it'd be a couple seconds to do the magic of YouTube, and for me it's going to be probably 30 minutes of CAD work. Alright, so here's the completed grill. Obviously these comically length L-channel legs will be changed later. I just haven't decided what I want to do for legs, but they're also way too tall. I mean, I think I set these to like 4 feet. And I just did that because I can buy 4-foot sections of L-beam pretty much anywhere for cheap. But those will most likely get cut down to probably about 3 feet or so, 2.5, 3 feet. Let's go over the grill a little bit here. This opening down right here, this is where our door for my existing grill is going to go. It's just a hinged cast iron door. It looked pretty nice, so I was going to keep it because it was in good shape. And it's where the smoke chamber wooden smoke chips will get put in. That's where it gets loaded, and it's also a nice big opening, so when I go to clean it out, it's easier just to push everything over. Let's hide the lid. In this chamber, this is the grill chamber. It's also the meat chamber for smoking. It's going to use a single cast iron grate from my existing grill. I'm going to have 5 of them sitting around, so about 4 leftovers. Not that I ever imagined breaking it, because it is pretty strong cast iron. I added holes, 3 on each side on that angled face, and I did that so that smoke will come up on all sides of the meat and provide even coating. And there's a single ash hole down there that just drops into the main chamber. So when I'm grilling, you just pull this grate off and you just push all the ash into the bottom chamber, and most of it will just fall right through, and it should go through that hole directly down into the ash bucket. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. These 2 hinges I'll use, I'm just gonna weld them through the screw holes, and they'll just be permanently attached. They do have a pin so I can remove the lid if I need to. The lid itself, I didn't cat it in, but it will have probably a wood handle holding it on, just give it that classic grill look. This hole here is there to fit my temperature probe that I'm taking off my old grill. That'll go there, and then this piece of 3x3 round, well, square stock tubing will be used for the smokestack. I may or may not add a little vent to the top of that. Haven't decided. I probably will, just because I plan on leaving this grill outside, and the less moisture that stays on the inside the better. And that's about it for the grill. I'll also add some handles to the sides just so I can pick the whole thing up and move it. But this is the grill design. I will be building this in probably a month or so when I get the money for the materials. Stay tuned for that. Next week I will get back to the CNC rebuild video series. I discovered that it wasn't actually the board that died. It was actually not realizing that a VGA patch cable doesn't have 15 conductors, and that was causing the issue. So I got that all sorted out, got the proper cable on the way, and I will be adding that to the box and getting that all buttoned up again, and I'll show you it moving, and then I'll start taking apart the actual mill so I can start putting on the new enclosure. Well, there'll be a new enclosure too. That'll be a different video, but it'll be getting placed onto the cart rather. The enclosure itself will actually be sheet metal I weld together as well, similar to how I'm welding this. This project's probably going to be the practice for that project. The idea is I want to have it fully metal encased so that when I'm running WD-40 coolant, it can just drip off into a bucket and I can dispose of it, as opposed to now where it just soaks into the wood and causes a mess. Hope you enjoyed, and it was a little bit different. Tried out the Autodesk screen capture program. It seems to work better. It lets you see what I'm doing, and if you like it, let me know. I'll do more of these design videos in the future. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week.